IGN Live at E3, streaming straight to you from e3.ign.com, youtube.com/E3, and the IGN app on Xbox Live. Sigh, if only I had a quarter every time I've said that. Okay, we have a spectacular segment for you right now. Spider-Man is getting a new movie this July, and what better way to celebrate than a brand new game? Time to welcome The Amazing Spider-Man.
As I live and breathe, D. Brown.
Hey, Greg.
D. Brown. The Amazing Spider-Man, the game, it doesn't suck.
Yeah, it's just incredible. So far, we've had nothing but positive comments. We're super happy about it. And I'm telling you, this is going to be the next evolution in the Spider-Man series.
I believe you. I got to play it at E3. We're going to start some footage here. And just looking at it, I mean, you see it right there. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
The draw distances are nice. And then how acrobatic Spider-Man is. And as he starts web slinging, this is the one thing everybody from IGN was talking about when we saw it, is how the camera's nice and tight on him.
Yeah.
There's this kinetic motion. You feel like him.
Exactly. That was something that was key to our development. We wanted the player to feel not like he is controlling some sort of puppets, like that he is actually the one and only Spider-Man. And when you see him web swing like that, the first thing that we did is probably that's most obvious is the camera. The camera is now much closer to the player, and it's actually allow us to do all sort of cool things. Things like, for example, when the suit gets damaged, when you get beaten up, you see the damage. You eventually see Peter Parker's skin, like he gets bruises and everything. It makes you feel much more connected to the main character.
I mean, in a lot of ways, that's your HUD, right? There isn't this garish system telling you, look at this, that, blah blah. Here's your health bar.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can see through my suit. I'm in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. And you can hear him breathing. You can actually feel the pulse in your controller and everything. That's pretty big.
You're going to see some melee combat, right?
Oh yeah, so the combat system is among the many things that are brand new. Actually, we've rebuilt so many things in that game, it's totally fresh. It's not like any other Spider-Man game. So the combat system that you're seeing right now, it's much more acrobatic, much more agile. You can move freely from one enemy to another. It's really cool and a brand new stuff. And we also play a lot more with the webs. So when you build up your combo streak without getting hit and everything, you can actually unlock those signature moves that allow you to take out an enemy with your web in one quick shot.
Sure.
It's very cool.
Now we see Spider-Man's XP bar building there.
Yeah.
What exactly is he leveling up to?
Yeah, well, every time we've actually based the upgrade system around, as you said, a level experience-based system, where we think it's more in line with that kind of a more grounded approach. Like in the movie, he's learning his powers and everything. So in the game, it's kind of the same thing, where he's learning his power, and it allows you to gain new web rush abilities and all sort of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you bring up the interesting point, the movie. This is a tie into the movie, however, it's not retelling the story.
Absolutely not. I mean, that was something key right at the beginning. First meeting we had with Mark Webb and the crew at Sony, we told them, we love your universe, it's awesome, that new grounded approach to the character, but we want to have creative liberties. We don't want this to be another movie game.
Yeah.
We want this to be a game that's awesome, that's stand on its own, and to do this, we had to set the story after the events of the movie, which allowed us to introduce also new Marvel villains, also layer in a lot of other Marvel references in there. Yeah.
So now what's interesting about that is, you're in the movie universe, you're after the movie, and you're introducing new characters.
Yeah.
So is this game canon? I mean, do you have to go to Marvel and you have to go to Sony Pictures and say,
Yeah, well, you kind of somewhere in between. We definitely have to go to Marvel. I mean, this is their character, so when we have Rhino, for example, we have to rewrite his backstory, and we cannot do this just on our own, so we have to involve Marvel in this. But Marvel, it's been our third game with Marvel so far, so they've been super cooperative. Sony obviously had to kind of approve where we're going with that and everything, so they did see our story, they approved it and everything, but this is not a game that fills the gap between the Amazing Spider-Man movie and the potential sequel to it. It's really a game that is on its own path in this new rebooted franchise.
Interesting. Now, some of the stuff we're seeing here is, the PDA pops up. Is that, a big part of the movie? I guess you're trying to ground it into the game too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Everything is done in a more grounded manner. So the cell phone, for example, is something that we use to get you in-game messages. Obviously you can spot all the various crimes happening in Manhattan, because big surprise, we're going to have to fight crime.
That's why I stay out of New York.
I know that is our big innovation this year.
Stuff always happens over there. Yeah.
So, but we also, for example, are giving a camera to Peter Parker, so he can actually take pictures of various.
So he can do his job.
Game.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. But see, we're actually implementing a digital photo album, so you can actually take pictures of whatever you want and save it in the game. So a bunch of things like that, but always grounded in reality. So like another example that fans will appreciate for sure, like you know that in the movie he has those mechanical web shooters.
Yep.
So they do flash red when you use them in a game, and we have actually, although you don't run out of web, we have integrated like an animation where he automatically reloads from time to time. So
Nice.
all those little touches there.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what, I mean, you guys have made games for a long time now.
Yeah.
But what Beanox has sprung to fame recently with is Spider-Man, Shattered Dimensions, Edge of Time,
Yeah.
and really being involved with the character. I mean,
Yeah.
Shattered Dimensions was a phenomenal Spider-Man game. You focused on all these different universes and stuff. How was it different, though, to step out of what you'd already been doing, you know,
Yeah.
making original Spider-Man tales, but now, you know, tying it into a movie where it had to
Yeah.
look real and things had to be different?
Yeah.
Was that a really big challenge for you guys?
It was a big challenge because we had to rebuild everything. I mean, actually, we had to rewrite large parts of our technology just to be able to draw what you see on the screen. I mean, and not I'm not even talking the web rush. The web rush is something awesome. That's the one thing that I think we're really bringing. One of the things that we're really bringing to this game this time around, like. We wanted to give you a tool, a unique feature that would allow you to trigger those incredible acrobatics that Spider-Man has been able to do in movies and things like that. So with the web rush, it allows you to, at any time, anywhere, boss battles or wherever, you can just hold the button and you're going to be presented with a variety of choices, and you can pick one and the game will automatically make you go there in a very spectacular fashion. So
See,
it's
for me,
very
that's
cool.
such a big part of being Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
And I think some games have missed it before. As we go through here, you actually see it. Whenever you see viewers at home, the little gold outline of Spider-Man, that's a possible place for him to go. And we saw a
Exactly.
bunch during the Rhino fight. There was a web strike that we got to do with him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for me, it's making him land on pinpoint, you know, land with pinpoint accuracy.
Exactly.
Something you never saw before. If you tried to get to the top of the Empire State Building, you try to walk around with a spear and then
And you
fall
had
off.
the worst time ever just to get on top of the antenna, right?
Exactly.
So that's
exactly.
super easy to do now in the game. And actually, it has combat implication. Like looking at the footage right now, your eye actually is using a combination of web shoot to like slow down the enemy, web swing to get in the general direction, and then you use the web rush to get on it because there are also combat implications. And that comes really as handy in indoor levels. We have very cool indoor levels, and you can use the web rush, as you said, to really navigate your environment in a much more tactical manner, and then get behind your enemy and use the web rush as a stealth, to do stealth takedowns as well if you want to, which is a super cool aspect that we're also giving you a choice on how to approach situations.
Well, that's the cool thing, right, about how the combat works. We already saw the melee stuff.
Yeah.
I know there's some gunplay later on. It's, you know, for once it makes sense when Spider-Man's spider sense goes off that there's a counter button, right?
Yeah,
you know immediately how to get
Yeah.
out of it, using the moves to get up on top of them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's different than what we saw before, because in Shattered Dimensions, of course, your version of Amazing was very much web attacks, right? I'm going to make web hammers and slam it and stuff like this. So to see one ultimate version of Spider-Man doing everything is cool.
Yeah, because we had so much, such great feedback with Spider-Man Noir, like when we did that in Shattered Dimensions and its stealth attacks and everything. But like it was great because it was in small doses. Like you had this level where it was really stealth oriented. But in our game, now you can approach it any way you want. So you can go end to end if you want to, or you can go the stealth way, which is really cool. And you have all sort of bonuses. You can actually also upgrade your web rush. You have like options like, which is really cool, where you can grab two guys at once and cocoon them on the ceiling, and it's very cool.
Well, I mean, the best moment is in one of your earlier trailers where he's on the car, webs it, jumps off the hood, and then kicks it in the air and webs it and catches it.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that just the funnest thing in the world to think up crazy crap for Spider-Man to do?
That's very cool. I mean, we have a bunch of people are so talented in the studio. Like we have animators that do all sort of crazy stuff because we've put. This is our biggest project by far for Beanox, and we've on most of the cinematics we've did mocap and everything in studios. That's super high cinematic value in this game. But Spider-Man himself had to be all animated because there's nobody in the world that can possibly do that.
Gotcha.
So this is always a fun challenge. But the animators come up with all sort of crazy ideas.
Well, D, the game looks amazing, and
It
I
is.
can't wait to see more. When's it come out?
It comes out on June 26th
right.
for pretty much all platforms, 360, PS3, Nintendo Wii, 3DS, DS, and we've even announced recently that there's going to be a PC version later down the road.
Well, there you go. Well, D, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
True believers, back to Naomi.
Thanks, Greg. And who out there wants to be bitten by a radioactive spider? That game looks incredible. Just a final thought. Let us know by following at IGN on Twitter and tweet us with the hashtag E3. Okay, our next game has a very intriguing world filled with steampunky ways to kill people. Oh, that sounds awesome. Stay tuned for Dishonored.